the American Tobacco Company. The American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. Lucky Strike, Pall Mall. Herbert Tarrington with the genuine cork tip presents Danny Thomas. Gene Hagen as his wife, with Sherry Jackson and Rusty Hamer as their children, in Make Room for Daddy.
Here's a suggestion you shouldn't forget. When you choose the right girl, choose the right cigarette. For those moments of pleasure when dancing's been swell, relax and enjoy yourself. Light a Pall Mall, Pall Mall, Pall Mall. Smoke longer and finer and milder, Pall Mall.
Pall Mall is longer, yes, but greater length is only half the story. Fine tobacco is its own best filter, and Pall Mall tobaccos are the finest quality money can buy. And look how Pall Mall's greater length travels the smoke further, filters the smoke naturally and makes it mild. In fact, your appreciation of Pall Mall quality has made it America's most successful and most imitated cigarette. Choose well. Smoke Pall Mall. Pall Mall famous cigarettes, outstanding. And they are mild.
What kind of a mother are you, leaving your children with that old lady quinine or whatever her name is?
Her name is Miss Quincy, and you know it.
Quince, she looks more like a sour apple to me.
Well, maybe she does look a little stern, but she's a fine governess, and she comes to us highly recommended.
Well, that's great, a governess for my kids. All I can say is if Rusty's pals catch him acting like little Lord Fauntleroy, his blood is on your hands.
Honey, I know you had a difficult childhood, but you were brought up in a society where it didn't matter if your manners were a little rough.
What do you mean it didn't matter? It was compulsory.
That's it. That is just what I mean. That's just the kind of talk that made me realize that we needed a governess. And the way you've been telling the children stories about the games you used to play when you were a kid.
What's the matter with the games we played?
Hitting people over the head with a shovel and then betting a penny which way they'd fall. Look, honey, you're a very successful man, and we live in a different world. Our children can grow up to be accepted in the finest circles.
Even me?
That's right, sweetheart, even you. That's why I hired Miss Quincy to look after you from now on.
You mean Miss Sour Apple?
You and your forstunken a childhood.
Mother, aren't you going to a lot of unnecessary expense? Grandma could stay with us while you're in Boston with Daddy.
Sure, it's only going to be for a week. Grandma could stay.
Look, it's not a question of getting someone for a week. Miss Quincy's going to be here from now on, and maybe she can teach you children some manners and deportment and respect for property.
Gee, Mother, just because we broke a cookie jar.
Look, that's not the point. It's the principle of the thing. And speaking of breaking things, I'd better put this lamp up while we're gone so you don't break it.
What are you worried about that old lamp for?
It's not an old lamp. It's a piece of pottery that's been in my family for years and years. My grandma gave it to me when I was just a little girl. And that's another thing Miss Quincy can teach you. Respect for traditions.
Teresa, you didn't finish your milk. And Russell, you left an egg stain on the tablecloth. Now, I'll overlook it this time, but you must be more careful in future. Oh, Mrs. Williams, you needn't worry. When you return, you'll find they'll have made remarkable progress in both etiquette and diction as well. Are we in accord, children? Why don't we answer?
Believe me, you're better off this way.
Well, I'll go and tidy up the kitchen.
Well, I'll go and tidy up the kitchen.
Rusty! For heaven's sake, you stop that. What's the matter with you anyway? Miss Quincy's so nice. Why are you so unpleasant to her all the time?
Well, why can't you speak English like the rest of us?
Because she speaks English correctly.
Gee, Mother, why don't we have Grandma Julia stay with us like she always does?
Because Miss Quincy's going to stay with you, and that's that.
But if you got against your own mother?
takes care of you. She lets you run all over. When I come home, what do I find? A bunch of wild Indians.
Sometimes we're firemen.
All right.
Once we were pirates. What are you snickering at?
I remember that time he had your earrings in his nose.
Oh, get that, will you, dear?
Ah, you're worrying about nothing. Hello, Slugger.
Hello, dear.
Hey, Tim.
Rusty. Hello, Mother. Hello. Hello, Margaret. Well, Rusty, dear, you grow a little bit more every day.
You were fooling us when you said Grandma wasn't coming, weren't you, Mommy?
Oh, you expected me, didn't you? You said you were going to Boston today to stay for a week, so, well, naturally, I came over to stay with the children. Did you change your plans? Well, I should say something.
You laid it, you hatch it.
I'd have been disappointed if you hadn't said that. Look, Mother, you see, when I called you and I told you that we were going to Boston for a week, Mother
has a governess. And you should see her. Yikes.
A governess?
The real thing. Are we in a college, children?
Now, you cut that out. Look, Mother, it was just that we didn't want to impose, that's all.
Impose? Margaret, I'm their grandmother, whether you know it or not. I look forward to the time when I can have them all by myself.
Mrs. Williams, you're going to miss your face.
Oh, thank you, Miss Quincy. Danny, hurry up, dear. Bring my coat.
Come now, children. It's time to kiss our mother and father and be off about our work.
Miss Quincy, this is my mother, Mrs. Summers. Mother, Miss Quincy is going to be in charge of the children from now on.
Oh, yes. How do you do? The children and I are looking forward to a delightful week of self-instruction and improvement. Are we in accord, children?
Maybe you are, not me.
Quincy, that reminds me. Here's the key to the cookie jar. I locked it in the cupboard. You better keep your eye on that. Rusty's addicted to cookies.
Yeah, we were thinking of having them join CA. That's Cookies Anonymous. It's a joke.
Well, I guess we'd better be running along. We'll be late.
Goodbye, Mother. Have a nice trip.
Thank you, sweetheart. Goodbye. Now, you be a good boy and you mind Miss Quincy, all right? Come along, Mother. Come along, dear. We'll drop you at your apartment.
I don't think so. I've decided to stay after all.
What?
I could use a spot of discipline myself.
But, Mother!
Are we in accord, children?
Well, I'm sorry, Miss Quincy. It looks like there'll be 3 children instead of 2.
Well, you children have made a fine mess at the kitchen. What's this?
Oh, he's a mama doll.
A mama doll?
Yes, you want to see? Mama! Mama!
That's ridiculous.
Can you do it? Rusty, no conversation. You're a mama doll. He's learned to say mama, walk, sit down, turn his head, and drink from a bottle.
Let's see if he can go to sleep.
I haven't learned that one yet.
Well, you're going to learn it now. And promptly.
Oh, please, Miss Quincy, let us stay up just a little longer. It's really early.
For 4 days now, you children have had the run of the house just because your grandmother's here. And thank goodness she's out now and you're going straight to bed.
Can't I see television?
Certainly not. I'm through pampering you children. I'm going to lock you up in this room until the morning.
Well, suppose the building catches fire.
Don't worry, it won't.
Not even if I started?
Russell, that's just the kind of behavior I've been complaining about. Now, perhaps if you remain in here under lock and key, you'll know that I mean business.
I'll get it. If it's the fire department, tell them I didn't mean it. Grandma! Oh, Grandma! Boy, am I glad to see you!
Oh, my goodness. Well. What's the reason for this overdose of appreciation, huh?
You just saved us from jail!
I thought you were going out.
I was out, but I came back. Why?
Well, it's most upsetting when you return just when the children are going to bed.
She wants us to go to bed and we're not even sleeping. We weren't even thinking of getting sleepy.
That's quite enough out of you two.
She was going to lock us up, like criminals,
What?
and set fire to us.
Oh, just a minute.
She's got the key to the cookie jar and she's starving us out.
The children misbehaved, and I merely wanted to show them that I'm not one to be trifled with.
Now, Miss Quincy, I'm sure we can work this out.
Yes, we can, if you stop interfering and allowing them to do just as they please. I wish you could see that kitchen, the mess it's in. And who's going to clean it up?
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, the kitchen cleaning squad will now board the 20th Century Limited and go out in the kitchen and clean up the mess, huh?
Oh, good. I'll be the engine, and I'll be the tender.
Uh-huh.
And Grandma, you'll be the cattle car.
I will not. I'll be the mail car.
All right. And Miss Quincy, you can be the caboose.
I'll be no part of anything so foolish.
Oh, break down, Quincy. A caboose might be an improvement.
Pick up the mail bag.
Woo! Right, gotcha!
When the big fish is hooked and you finally land him, reward yourself with the pleasure of smooth smoking. Smoke longer and finer and milder Pall Mall. Pall Mall is longer, yes, but greater length is only half the story. Fine tobacco is its own best filter, and Pall Mall tobaccos are the finest quality money can buy. And look how Pall Mall's greater length travels the smoke further, filters the smoke naturally and makes it mild. In fact, your appreciation of Pall Mall quality has made it America's most successful and most imitated cigarette. It's your cigarette. Fine tobacco blended to a flavor peak, distinctively Pall Mall. So reward yourself with a smoothness, mildness, and satisfaction no other cigarette can offer you. Buy Pall Mall famous cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mild.
Well, I'm not one to complain, but I've never experienced anything like it. A complete lack of discipline. And then the next day, the same thing again. No one trying to curb those children. Oh, they are just dreadful. How they ever get on at school, I will never know.
They get on very well, if you'd like to know. And they continue to get on well if you leave them unlocked for a while.
Oh,
now, Mother, I will not
those children, little darlings.
I will not enter into a contest with Miss Quincy.
Mother, I don't want you to, but if I say anything, you'll get it all mixed up with loving you and not loving you. And, frankly, Mother, you do spoil the children, and they do take advantage of you.
Oh, I see.
You let them get away with anything. I know you don't mean to, but you can't help it. You're their grandmother. You don't have to live with them all the time.
Well, why don't you just ask me to leave?
Oh, I knew it. I knew you'd take offense.
Well, I can also take a hint.
What?
Just remember this, Margaret. Kids are kids. That's what they are, and the worst thing that can happen to them is that they grow up to be adults.
Well, I should hate to see a child she raised.
Thank you very much. You were a big help, weren't you? You let me battle it out all by myself while you sat there like a lump.
For me? If I said anything, you'd have said, "Oh, shut up."
The least you could do is make a suggestion. I need your help.
Now, get rid of Miss Quincy.
Oh, shut up.
That's what I thought. I'm not wanted. I'm going home to your mother.
Oh, now,
Well, it's so sweet of you with me. But I think you'd better go home because it's getting dark.
Well, why don't you come with us?
I'd love to, dear, but, I have a million things to do.
If you come back, I'll let you be the engine on the train.
Rusty,
And you can make new hymns on all my skirts and play my bop records.
I'd love to, dear, but, I just made a previous date.
Now, Grandma, you don't fool us one bit. We know you love to come and stay, but you and Mommy had an argument about us, didn't you?
Well, dear, every mother in the world, when she's tired or worried or upset, wishes her children behaved like perfect little angels, never speaking out of turn, never shouting, never breaking anything, never behaving like children.
Mean doing just what Miss Quincy tells them?
That's right. And I bet if their children did exactly what Miss Quincy told them to do, perhaps if they did every little thing Miss Quincy told them to do, maybe their parents might start to wonder what was wrong. Maybe they might call up their grandma and ask her to come over and make children out of them again.
Grandma. Are you suggesting a plan of battle?
I'm just thinking out loud, dear. But, of course, if someone should overhear me and be smart enough to know what I'm talking about, well, that isn't my fault, is it?
Grandma, you're worse than we are. Good morning, Mother. Good morning, Father. Good morning, Mother dear. Good morning, Father dear. Teresa dear. Thank you, Russell dear. Russell dear. Thank you, Teresa dear. Teresa dear. Thank you, Russell dear.
Okay, let's stop the perpetual motion, huh? Stop kidding. Or are you kidding? Will you look at that suit? This is where he dresses for school? Where does he go? Mrs. Penelope's for girls?
Well, Miss Quincy says that those suits are the smartest thing this season.
Kid, if that suit were really smart, it'd jump right off of him right now before it gets rolled in the mud.
Beg pardon, sir. Russell is no barbarian.
That's right, honey. I'm sure Rusty knows better than that.
Indeed I do, Mother. Tut, Father. Tut, tut.
Tut what?
We were given tongues so that we could ask for what we want.
Well, my tongue doesn't want anything, but I would like the salt. Thanks a lot.
Well, now, what would you children like for breakfast? Some crackly pops or oaty bits?
Oh, Mother, you needn't trouble yourself on our account. We'll have whatever you're having.
Hey, let's not carry this thing too far, huh?
I guess I'll get the seeds out of your orange juice.
I can handle it very well myself, Peter.
Peter? I told you, stop fooling around. What do you want, oatsy bits or crackly pops?
I'll leave that up to you, Peter.
Don't call me Peter! One more Peter out of you and I'll pay you where you haven't been patered lately.
For temper, Father. We were only trying to behave in a manner that would reflect credit on the Williams name.
It's all right to behave, but you don't have to do a scene from Wuthering Heights.
Sorry you're offended, Father.
I'm not offended. And I don't want to hear any more of this highfalutin talk either.
My most humble apology.
that, Russ? A Brooklyn Bridge with a car going across. Isn't that something?
Splendid, old man.
You mean splendid? Don't you want to help me make something? Let's make a truck, huh?
No, you do it by yourself. It will be educational.
Jerry, honey, did you see this new little doll I got? I made a cute dress for her. It'll look cute in your collection. Can you help me with it?
Oh, no, Mother. If you want to relive your childhood, I wouldn't dream of interfering.
Anybody want to play with us? I know. How about charades?
Yeah, and neglect our homework? Miss Quincy would never allow that.
Let's play the limerick game.
Oh, yeah, kids,
Do the one
you'll
from
love
Hopper.
it.
The lady from Hopper.
The lady from
Watch
Hopper.
this, kid.
You haven't
Watch this.
seen this.
Limerick. I don't think you've seen it. The white little girl from Hopper, in love with a bow-legged copper. When on his lap, she would sit right through his bow legs. He'd drop her.
Sweet, honey. Do you want to play that Russ with me? Huh?
Amusing. But a little childish.
Come, children, it's bedtime.
Already?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, it is. Well, good night, Father dear. Good night, Mother dear. Good night, Mother dear. Good night, old boy.
This is pretty ridiculous, this whole thing. You're not children, you're robots.
Calm yourself. You're behaving badly.
Oh, yeah, well, you're behaving ridiculously.
Mrs. Williams, I'm surprised at you. The boy's a perfect model of deportment.
Deportment, my eye. He's not even a human being. He's acting like a monster.
Oh, do you realize you're talking about your own son?
Please don't contradict my mother. If she says I'm a monster, I'm a monster.
Now look, Miss Quincy.
Just a minute. It's high time the father of this family took over. Now, see here, Miss Quincy. See here, Miss Quincy. I only went along with this governess thing just because my wife tried to convince me that the children should have a better childhood than I had. Believe me, if I had this kind of childhood, I'd have been too discouraged to grow up.
And what makes you think you have grown up?
Miss Quincy, you're fired.
What?
Oh, I beg your pardon. You're discharged.
I resign.
In that case, I hire you again so I can fire you again. Now, you'll get 2 weeks extra pay, so do me a favor and go someplace else and make icicles.
I certainly will.
Just a minute. Turn in the key to the cookie jar. Thanks a lot. Rusty, here's the key to the cupboard. In the cupboard is the cookie jar. Now go be 7 years old. Eat till you bust. Harry, call your grandmother right away. Tell her I want to hear the first thing in the morning. Boy, will she be surprised.
She sure will. I told her to come over tonight. Daddy!
What's the matter?
It's Miss Quincy. She ate all the cookies.
And now a word from our alternate sponsor, your dependable Dodge dealer.
In most families, do-it-yourself really means do it together. Pleasures shared are twice the fun. A new Dodge, not just for the family, but in the family, can make this season a time you'll never forget. Suddenly you think of more places to go because going is more fun. Off again. Where to this time? Oh yes, down this road. If you can call it a road. It leads to a delightful picnic spot. A little rough to get to unless you have a Dodge. For Dodge Oriflow shock absorbers literally eat up jolts and bumps. And safe, dependable Dodge brakes ease you downhill, just as the surging power of the mighty Dodge lets you climb hills with ease. Yes, a Dodge is a part of the family, a new experience in living. For here, in the mighty new Dodge, beauty and performance come alive.
Oh, hi, Mother. Hello, Margaret. Well,
I hear you made sauce out of old sour apple.
Oh, now, Mother, you needn't sound so smug about it. I'm still not going to let the children run wild.
Now, exactly what do you mean by that?
It means that they are going to learn to accept the responsibilities that go with growing up.
Oh, poppycock. If they can't afford to shirk responsibilities, what's the good of being young?
Oh, now, look, Mother, I thought we talked that all out.
When are you going to take my mother's lamp down off that cabinet?
Well, that's it. That's just my point. I had to put it up there when we left so that the kids wouldn't break it.
You're very fond of that lamp, aren't you?
You know I am. Grandma gave this to me when I was just a little girl.
You know what it is?
It's an heirloom, isn't it?
Heirloom, my eye. It's an old cookie jar.
What?
The one you knocked down off the shelf and broke 3 times when you were about 6 years old.
Me?
Oh, you were a holy terror, didn't you know that? Grandma finally gave up and glued it together and made a lamp of it.
What for?
That's what I said. I was all for spanking you. But Grandma said, no, it belongs to Margaret. 3 times gives her permanent possession. She's won it fair and square.
Now, wait a minute, Mother. I know I was an active child, but to be destructive... 3 times? I didn't remember that.
Of course you didn't. Or the many times I fought with her because I thought she was spoiling you. Oh, Margaret, someday your little Terry will grow up and get married, and maybe she'll have a little daughter. And if I'm not around then, will you do me a favor?
What's that?
Will you give Terry the lamp?
Mother, I'm sorry.
Oh, darling. Oh, let them alone a little longer. Take a chance. Look at the chance I took with you.
It's Daddy! Oh, he's after me again!
He busted the cookie jar!
You break that cookie jar once more, you're going to win permanent possession of it.
What kind of bringing up is that? It's okay to spoil a kid, but you don't have to go too far, you know. Gotta see the kitchen, it's a mess.
Look here, ladies and gentlemen. The kitchen cleaning squad is now going to get on the 20th Century Limited and go out in the kitchen and clean up the mess, huh?
Oh, good. I'll be the engine. I'll be the tender car.
You be the cattle car.
All right, here we
Folks, before saying goodnight, I'd like to remind you that the program tonight was brought to you by the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. Lucky Strike, Pell Mell, and Herbert Territon with a genuine cork tip. We'll be looking for you next week when we'll be back for the dependable Dodge dealer in your neighborhood. Good night.
Is presented alternately by your dependable Dodge dealer and Pell Mell Famous Cigarettes, a product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes.